Brasham, how frustrating was that?
I think it was a very disappointing game, and I think Fred and McTominay, I think Fred was, the biggest. I don't understand how this guy yet keeps on getting into games. I don't think he made 1 2-yard pass, 3-yard pass. There was a spell of 5 minutes where we just misplaced every pass after half time, and it was horrible to see. And I don't know how Fred keeps on playing. I think we really need to change that up. Maybe try Van de Beek, but obviously that's not going to happen. So I think that was horrible. And then Mason Greenwood was just on another trip today. Kept trying to dribble past people, kept trying to take shots that weren't on, and from that corner where he generally scores, they always got bodies in there. He could have cut it back to Bruno twice, Ronaldo twice, and he just didn't do it. So wasteful. Fred, horrible. Van Bissaka is also unsure when he's on the ball, and that entire sort of combination of Fred, Van Bissaka on that side just doesn't work for me. And Van de Beek needs to play, or Pogba needs to get into that midfield and play Sancho on the left. But I think there was so much space and we didn't even swap play enough. We just didn't play that ball across field, and we just kept sort of head down backwards. Van Bissaka was going in circles at some point, and really disappointing. It's just we should have won this game, and then the unthinkable happens. Bruno skies the penalty. It wasn't
never happened before. It was going to bound to happen at one point where he's going to have to sky a penalty. And to be honest, I think from my point of view, I was happy that it happened in the 6th game of the Premier League season as opposed to in the last 5 where we need to win the game.
No, but what's frustrating is you probably have the 2 best penalty takers at the pitch, and when it mattered, he skied it. But again, like, people are knocking sort of Oli for giving Bruno the penalty. I absolutely back that decision. He's missed 3 penalties before this. This is his 4th miss. He's got almost a conversion rate that's over 90%. I mean, I know Oli should have brought Sancho on, shouldn't have started Fred possibly, but you also have to realise that his sort of hands were tied when Lindelof and Dalot had to come on. Shaw and Maguire gone, his hands were tied. Only one sub. It was a toss of a coin. Cavani, Sancho, he went with Cavani, it didn't work out. But all in all, I think Andy was right. There's no urgency. Maguire played those back passes to De Gea. De Gea was obviously pointing in one direction, the ball's going in another direction, and just a sloppy play. It's not a Manchester United performance you expect. When you line up with Varane, Maguire, Ronaldo, Shaw, Mason, Bruno, you expect those days where the game's over in the tunnel, you expect that kind of a performance. That wasn't the case today. Villa, in the second half, really, in the first 10 minutes, they sort of dominated us, and that's frustrating to see at Old Trafford, especially when you've come from so far to watch a game, and it just feels like the players didn't care enough, especially Fred, and very disappointed with the way he's played today.
We're here with fan favourite on the channel, Zayo. Try and describe that for us.
Yeah, I think that's sort of it's the penalty then sort of summed up how the way we played. I think that they were dominating towards the end. They had majority of the possession towards the end, and we were sort of trying to hope for that ball over the top every time. And I think that when we were playing in these sort of games, we brought in Bruno and Ronaldo to sort of break teams down, and we've been doing that well. But I thought that we lost that sort of edge that we had in last season, where we were sort of dominating through difficult patches. But when we had difficult patches, we were displacing the ball or trying to rush everything, and I think sometimes we need to just take a break, because we've got to ride storms. Because you see, that's the difference between like the top team and a title-winning team. Because the top teams like Chelsea, they're the teams that will be able to ride out a storm, or ride under a lot of pressure, and we can't do that.
Do you think we let Villa get into our heads today? Of course, the time wasting when Bruno was about to take the penalty, they all circled around him, probably giving it him all in the air. Do you think we let them get in our heads today?
I think it was sort of a given. We saw the same thing in the Newcastle game, and I thought it's sort of nothing. It's something that was out of our control, really. I thought we should have expected it to happen. And with Bruno, they were trying to giving the keeper a big of a chance, because if you got as much time with a penalty, if you got loads of time to think about it, it's even worse. And I think that we sort of, even if he scored the penalty, we were lucky that would be a draw anyway, because they had so many chances. De Gea making some great saves, and I thought we just lacked a bit. I thought bringing Cavani on was the right thing to do, but it just didn't work out in the end.
I think we brought him on too late.
Yeah.
10 minutes to go.
I think that we sort of were if we took him off earlier, we were losing like robustness in midfield with McTominay, because we were under pressure a lot, or when they got the ball, they were playing the long ball, and we were sort of getting outran in midfield a bit, and they were playing down the wing and getting a lot of crosses in the box. I think with McTominay, he was doing well, but I thought he sort of had to put on Cavani then, because if he didn't, he'd become under a lot of stick.
And one final point, do you think Ole got his tactics wrong today?
No, I mean, like, for example, he's put on all the players that we had. He's put on all the world-class players that we had. We had Ronaldo, Bruno, Greenwood, who else? Cavani. We had all them Pogba, all these players on the pitch, and it's pretty disappointing that we can't convert the chances that we have or create enough chances. Because when we're playing against teams like these, you know that they're going to waste time. You know that they're going to sit 10 men behind the ball, and if you brought on Sancho towards the end, and it didn't work out, he gets stick for not putting on Cavani. So I think it's sort of one of them things at the end now.
Abdul here out of Trafford. I'm here with Y Header. What do you think of that, mate?
I mean, there's nothing much to say for me. Like, I'm just come out of there frustrated with that result towards the end. Frustrating game from the start. You know, Ali said that he wanted reaction. He was saying that, you know, giving all the words and stuff. And when is the post match, and I didn't say anything. I didn't see reaction. I'm not sure why he didn't start. He didn't start Van de Beek. I thought, you know, he deserved his spot. You know, he deserved his spot today at least against Aston Villa. You know, give it a go, try and break the team down, because you know how Aston Villa play. So yeah, it's disappointing and frustrating towards the end. Ruined the weekend now, wasn't it?
Yeah. What decisions do you think he should have made in terms of changes off the bench? I know that we got 2 injuries, but do you feel like we lacked a bit of pace in that team? Felt like we countered a lot, but was a bit too slow.
Definitely. I think someone who should have been there with Greenwood, because he was running away. Should have been Sancho with him. Should have brought Sancho on, I think, on the right side. I think that was who we were missing today. Definitely Sancho, his combination that he has with the midfield and runs on the wing, his combination with the right backs and stuff. So I think that Sancho was with a big miss. People are saying, you know, for stats, Sancho got the assists, got the goals. They don't see what he does before the goal happens, before the assist happens. He's the one that's playing, you know, higher up the field, bringing the ball towards towards attacking goals. So Sancho was the main one for me. You know,
going on from this game, what would you like to see, you know, going into the midweek game in the Champions League? What would your attack look like after, you know, watching this game?
Well, I think definitely Sancho's got to be there. I think Greenwood had a good game, but they were blocking all his shots. But Greenwood would definitely be there, and of course Ronaldo. But I would just want to play. I want to see Van de Beek again. Before them, just creating them spaces, you know, and you know getting the ball across. This Van de Beek and Sancho, I think.
Nice one, mate.